There's a new scary FTK running around, and that's just what you want to be hearing about. Thanks, Light Duelist Pack. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So we're going to be going through a new FTK today that actually just popped up in the OCG, and we're going to talk about the inverse of Tenpai actually citing this FTK for when they get to go first. Oh boy! So this will be a very short tutorial on how to do this, and this is with the side deck invert in place, so you can actually see what we're doing. So we're going to go ahead and M-City on away here. All right, effect, we're going to go ahead and grab a nice King Sark off of that, and we're going to go ahead and get our draw. Man, it must be nice to have this many hand traps. We're going to go ahead and slam down this King Sark. We're going to go ahead and mill off R1. We're going to go ahead and special them both. And you're going to go ahead and overlay on in True Draguxion here. Now, you could technically take this Draguxion one step further and attempt to, level up again. Also, disregard my detach there. It's not going to matter. We're going to go ahead and we're going to special summon up the Primal Dragon here, which will go ahead and trigger, get us the 7th Tachyon. And this is where the FTK starts to kind of come together, because for those of you that have forgotten this, let you reveal a number exceeds monster in your extra deck that has a number between 101 and 107. And then you can add a monster with the same attribute as a revealed monster and a level or equal to its rank from your deck to your hand. Then you have to place a card from your hand on the bottom of the deck, and then this locks you into exceeds for the rest of this turn. That's not really going to matter all that much here for the -1, but you'll see what we're going to do with that here. So we're going to go ahead and King Sark away so we can go ahead and get the extra piece on down here. We'll go ahead and special summon. And it always comes back to this guy. Ah, yes. Draguxion. Alright, well, you know what this thing does, right? Detach, go ahead and make the number 100 dragon here, which lets you, detach a material from this. This card gains attack equal to the combined rank of all Exceeds monsters currently on, until the end of the opponent's next turn. So, go ahead and, guess what? Stack them on up. Now, we get to go ahead and 7th Tachyon here. Go ahead and reveal Silent Honor Dark. And oh boy, here we go again. This is what I love to see. It always comes back to the Catapult Turtle. We haven't even committed a normal summon here. Alright, and there's our normal summon for the Catapult Turtle, and guess what we get to do? We get to fire this 17,000 attack point monster at our opponent's life points for lethal. Now you're probably like, okay, so is this a realistic thing that we're gonna have to deal with, Robbie? Is this something that, that is actually gonna happen? Well, one of the things that Tenpai players have needed has been, ways to kind of trick the opponent, because everybody's like, oh, the perfect way to beat the Tenpai duelist is by making them go first. Well, that's what you think. And, we've had all sorts of people out here trying to find methods of madness to kind of alleviate this. Tenpais do have their own built-in card, yes, to try to, skip a main phase and punish the opponent. But when you have a 15-card side deck that is meant to try to ease the deck transition a little bit, to try to make these worst matchups a little bit more favorable in your behalf, I'm not surprised to see that people out here are trying out these various FTKs and looking for these options to try to do things. And also, I think this is one of the easiest FTKs to actually play in the course of the game right now. The whole Horus package just makes this, possible with a splash of 3 cards built into your main deck, meaning the Primal, the 7th, and the Catapult. And then, of course, you got to structure the extra deck a little bit, but that's not a problem. All right, if your goal is consistency, the fact that this build actually showed up in a more of a competitive scene and was able to, kind of do its thing, I genuinely am kind of impressed with the idea behind this. So, spooky. I hope you enjoy your FTK. Let's pass on over to the deck list that kind of inspired this level of insanity, in my opinion. Well, make sure you guys enjoy this, because this is getting the chance to look at what the OCG is doing out here with some of these ideas is kind of crazy. Now, the first thing I want to point out down here when we're looking at the list is you're going to notice there's something missing down here that you need for all of this to kind of be possible, and it's the C101. I do believe that there was an error in this deck list being presented that you literally can't do anything with this without the 101. So, ba-bam! We have the 101 present over here for the showcase of this, just to kind of, make sure that you can fully do this. The big thing with this is you basically, you would want to have this probably built into your extra deck down here. I necessarily wouldn't want to be broadcasting to my opponent that I'm really citing something into my extra deck, and having the piece be missing for the Horus side of the equation. You might want those extra names so you can at least, kind of go full crazy along the lines here for what you want to be having here. Now, what has made this idea even accurately funny, at least looking at the OCG side of things, is, people look at this deck and like, you're going to go first. I trust me, I have people at my own locals that look at me playing, Tenpai, and they're like, you enjoy. And it's like, okay, so, we don't have Genroku yet, and we also don't have Dora Draco here. Though I do think Dora Draco does change some of the ideas that kind of happen along with Tenpai. I've seen builds that don't even want to opt to actually play this, but it is actually pretty cool just to be able to get the free level 4 dragon out of the deck, and also, getting the chance to toggle into our dear friend here to get the, this free special. We can treat this as a tuner if need be, but, this also, toggles into any of your Tenpai dragons. It's also very interesting, especially when you're looking at the ratios out here for OCG Tenpai, the fact that, Pydra has been cut down to 2. All right, and to be honest with you, you had to cut something, right? Like, you had to make sure that you could get the Genrokus into the deck, and technically, even though the Genroku does, eat a giant ash blossom, which is kind of sad. I really wish that it wasn't that way. Having this be able to deploy itself during a battle phase is actually pretty good to be able to tribute, go on ahead and toggle on into something else, and also have this act as a sub-tuner and quite possibly an extra name. It's just the fact that the utility options for this is actually pretty good. And also, yeah, it does lock you into, the fun little things, dragons, for the rest of this turn. So I guess you got to be a little bit careful on how you're looking at this card and approaching it. Also, with the way that this build is constructed, you do have the Promethean Princess and the Hida down here, but they're just kind of stepping on into the Promethean Princess after like a deep barrier option or something along the way. So that's a big thing to consider, because you're not really, since you are dedicating such large slots to this side of the package, that's kind of something to think about. And obviously, like, I don't think you can really cut the Photon Lord out of here if you're really, committing to this. Also, this isn't an actual perfect side. I want to point that out. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You're still going to be in on some sort of this mini package or something. So that's a big thing to kind of consider out here, is your side deck transformation, as you call it, is not going to be a perfect fit. If you're going with the 15 route that, we saw over here on the original inspiration list. So, main reason to cover this, I wanted to bring the theory out here and go, hey, we've seen people in the TCG trying the idea of, we're going to side the Tenpai package and, we're going to get those free wins. And yes, that is an ingenious idea that you're able to take advantage of this deck and be able to do that. But on the same side of the equation out here, Tenpai players they can use that exact same mentality to transform their deck into something else. I've seen it with the Centurion builds right now, where they'll start off on a Tenpai mode and then the mode change on into Centurion going first and King Calamity lock you. It is very interesting just to see what this deck is capable of doing out here. But for all intents and purposes, I would highly consider wanting to make sure that you could have stuff for this. I have a feeling we could see the death of the Catapult turtle, but it is a once per turn. So to generate a monster with that many attack points, I think Konami's probably going to be looking at this and going, well, it can't be that crazy, but it is an interaction that is involved with 7th Tachyon all because you have a rank 5 Aqua monster. Oh boy, I love to see this. So what do you guys think about the ideas behind this? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I fully look forward to seeing how more of these little combo lines will develop in the future. And I'm not surprised to see 7 Tachyon's probably the most expensive card in the set. You guys have a good rest of your day, alright? Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.